Palacios-Jansen, creator of Cardiogolf. The Cardiogolf Shortee Practice Training Club and the Cardiogolf Slope are the two signature pieces I use in my Cardiogolf classes. The Shortee Practice Training Club is an excellent tool to help you practice inside. It's short so that you can swing inside and you won't hit the ceilings or the walls. The club face is closer to the handles, so you can really see your club face position and learn how to square the club face. It has the feel of a real club, but it's a little bit lighter so that you can swing the club a little bit faster and get club head speed. The Cardiogolf Slope is a specially designed exercise step for golfers to practice their uphill and downhill lies. So the curvature is designed with a fairway in mind. You're never on a flat lie on the golf course, so the Cardiogolf Slope helps you get into those positions as if you were on an uphill or downhill lie. It also helps with your strength, stability, and endurance. You can do traditional exercises on this step, but it has that golf twist to it. If you're using the Cardiogolf Slope to improve your swing technique, make sure you use the slope as your target line. So when you set up to do all your exercises, make sure that your feet, your knees, your hips, your shoulders, even your eye line are parallel to your target line. So take a club just for now and put it across the slope like this, and imagine that being your target line. So when you do all of the Cardiogolf exercises, you swing down your target line. So you don't want to be pointing to the right if you're a right-handed golfer like this, because then you'll do something in your swing, or you don't want to be too open, then you'll come across. So make sure that your feet, your knees, your hips, and everything are parallel to your slope, and then swing down your target line, and that will really help your swing technique and aim when you get out on the golf course. So let's just practice stepping up and down on the slope. So find a stable base and make sure you're going to have room to swing later on. And then from here, just roll your shoulders back and down, breathe, and then step up with your right foot, then come up with your left foot, and then step down with your right foot, down with your left foot, and then just go ahead and step up and down. So we're going to be doing a little warm-up right here, and what I love about this slope is because it has a little bit of an angle, you have to be careful where you step. Sometimes you might step and your foot might be angled a little bit to the right or to the left, and that's okay because that's how it happens on the golf course. You're never walking on a completely flat surface. So this actually will help strengthen your ankles and get you more conscious of making sure that your feet are gripping as you walk. So this is a great exercise to get your heart rate up, a really good way to warm up before you play or practice or do a workout. All right, from here, come down and then step with your left foot first, and then right foot, left foot, then right foot. So we're just changing the pattern. It makes you think a little bit, and you can see as I'm talking, my heart rate's getting up. So a great way to get some exercise. So put the slope in front of the television while you watch golf on TV, and you can enjoy your golf as you get exercise at the same time. So let's practice a lateral step. So start over on the right side of the bench. So all the instruction I do is for the right-handed golfer. If you're a left-handed golfer, I apologize, you're probably used to having to turn the information around. So if I'm a right-handed golfer, if I stand on the right side of the slope and my front foot is higher, I'm on an uphill lie. So this represents an uphill lie. Then from here, if I step over the bench, now my back foot is higher and my front foot is lower. This is a downhill lie. So this is good exercise, just stepping over side to side laterally. So you can do it low impact, like this, or you can add a little bit of a hop and go a little bit faster to increase your heart rate. So you can make the workout however you want it to be. And so this is a great exercise, just stepping side to side like this for your inner and outer thighs, for your internal, external hip rotators. And right now, you can hear I'm getting my heart rate up. So again, just doing this little side to side step would be a great way for you to warm up before you go play or practice or workout. So this is that lateral step side to side. Add some pace, get your heart rate going. Let's incorporate the Shortee Practice Training Club into some of these exercises. So this next exercise is for your lower body, but will also help your swing technique. So just hold the club like this and then stand, and you just might have to practice a couple times lunging forward, calculating how far you need to stand so that your foot lands flat on the slope, and then come back up and then switch and do the other side. So this is just a little bit of a lunge right here. The idea is to try to line up your toe, your heel, your knee, and your hip, and then push back. It's a great exercise for the lower body and also flexibility. So we'll add a little twist to make it a little bit more challenging and also help our swing technique. So you lunge forward with your right leg, get down low, and then we're going to add the twist. So you're twisting over a stable lower body. Hold it for a beat and then push off, and then step forward with your left foot, and then add that twist, push off. So you're loading, and then unloading, loading, and then unloading. You're lunging and twisting, just like you would do in the golf swing. So great exercise to help with that upper and lower body separation that you need in the golf swing. So get down low and twist. Good, and then you can pick up the pace, make it more challenging, add a little endurance to it. For this exercise, stand to the right side. So you're going to be using the slope as an uphill lie. So just practice stepping on the bench and then adding a little bit of a lunge and push off. So you're loading and then pushing off. So this is a great exercise for your lower body. It's also helping your flexibility. You're trying to lengthen your straight leg. You're trying to get down low. And as you do this, try to keep your abs pulled in and up. It helps protect your back. Good. So this is a great exercise to help with that lower body strength. Good. And then you're just going to carefully walk over, and then we're going to do the other side. So now if you're a right-handed golfer, this would be the down slope. So you're loading into that right side, pushing off. Loading into that right side, pushing off. Good. From here, really try to load and then push off. Try to keep your abs pulled in and up to protect your back. So let's work on this uphill lie. So if you're a right-handed golfer, that front foot would be higher, so it would be on the slope at a little bit of an angle. When you set up for an uphill lie, try to make sure that you angle your body the same angle as the slope. So you can see my shoulders are a little bit tilted, my whole right side's a little bit lower. So we're just going to be practicing with our back arm only. So choke down on the Shortee club like this. Put your other hand on your hip just so you have something to do with it. And we're just practicing loading into our backside and getting that right arm in a right angle at the top of the swing. So you can see as I do this, I'm looking down at where a ball would be, practicing my swing motion as much as possible. So what I love about an uphill lie is it really helps you load into that back leg. Where a lot of people go wrong in their swing is they tend to do that reverse pivot. So the uphill lie actually reverses the reverse. It helps you load into that backside. So we're really loading into that backside. It's a great exercise. And then, like I said, try to look down at where a ball would be. Nice. Go over to the downhill lie. This time we're going to be doing the whole swing. So again, on a downhill lie, try to angle yourself so that your hips, your knees, your shoulders are all parallel to the slope line, so you wouldn't be like this. You would be leaning towards the target. And now let's just practice that whole swing with the right arm. So you load your backswing. You might not be able to go as far because you're on a down slope, but then use the slope and follow through to the finish. So you can see when I finish, all my weight finishes towards that front foot. You can see the spikes on the bottom of my shoe. I'm not finishing back like this. So here's my follow through forward. I feel like I'm going towards the target. Nice. When I finish with this back arm, the club touches me between the shoulders like this. Nice. So if we go back here to the uphill lie, you're loading into that back side. You're loading into that back side, Then step over carefully and now do the whole swing, and then you're unloading, shifting your weight all the way towards the target. So let's practice those uphill and downhill lies with both hands. So let's talk a little bit about ball position. I know we're not hitting any balls when we do cardio golf, we're practicing our swing, but you still want to think about your swing technique. When you're on an uphill lie, if you're right-handed like me, your front foot is higher, you always want to play the ball towards your higher foot. So think about it, on an uphill lie, your higher foot is your front foot, so the ball position would be more forward in your stance. And the reason that is because as you come through, you're actually catching the ball on the upslope, so you need the ball to be more forward in your stance. If you're on the downslope, the ball position is also towards your higher foot, but now that higher foot is the back foot. So if you're right-handed like me, your back foot is that right foot, so the ball position is towards that back foot, and that's because you're on a downhill lie and you need to be catching the ball on the downslope, hitting down. If that ball position's too forward, you won't be able to stay down and through it, so you need to have the ball position a little bit back in your stance towards that right one. So for an uphill lie, the ball's towards your higher foot, the front foot. Downhill lie, the ball's towards your higher foot, the back foot. So practice your uphill lie. Load into that back side. Your right arm is in a right angle, the left arm is extended, you're loading your weight into that back side. You should feel the weight on the inside of that back foot. Now as you step over the bench and practice your downhill lie, practice the whole swing, and then really feel your weight follow the slope towards the target. So when you come through, you're going down after it, and you should feel like you're almost going to step forward. You don't have to. When you finish, someone should see the spikes on the bottom of your shoe. When you finish, that club should tap you between the shoulders. Don't stop your swing or hang back. So practice uphill lies, and then practice the downhill lie. So here's a great exercise to help you with your swing technique. We're going to show you how to sequence your golf swing, and that's also going to help you develop lower body strength for more power and also increase your endurance. So in the golf swing, if you're on a flat lie, you want to load your weight towards the back. Then the downswing actually starts with a lower body shift towards the target. And then once your weight shifts towards the target, you rotate through and all your weight goes towards that front foot. Where a lot of people would go wrong is they kind of hang back. So you want to learn to use that lower body and sequence it correctly. So this is a great exercise to do this. So you start on an uphill lie like this, and you're going to load your backswing. From here, you want to keep your hands up high, and you're going to carefully step over the bench. So you might have to practice this a few times. To the downhill lie, my hands are still up by my back shoulder. When I get to the downhill lie, then I'm going to actually start my rotation and finish my swing. So the sequence is you load, you hold your hands, step forward, and then swing. So you load, step, and then swing. So once you do this a few times, you'll really get your heart rate up. So where people would go wrong is they would get to the top, swing, and then step over the bench. Or they would swing at the same time as stepping over the bench. I want you to hold your hands up high. This is hard. Step over the bench and then follow through. So you're loading and then exploding towards the target. And then if you want to add a little bit of power, you can pick up the pace and go faster. Just be very careful stepping over your bench. Good. So let's get that heart rate up. Let's work on our balance. Balance is so important in the golf swing. You see, if you have poor balance, what ends up happening is you have to slow your swing down so that you don't fall over. So the better balance you have, the more club head speed you can create, the farther you can hit the ball. Balance is so important. And we tend to lose that as we get older. We don't practice it as much. So here's a good way to do it. So you're going to hold your Shortee practice training club, and then you're going to step on the bench. Make sure you calculate so that your whole foot is flat. And then you're going to come off and just extend your left toes behind you. So you're just going to practice putting your foot flat and then going into your swing position right here. Good. So this is a great exercise. You do it slow and controlled. Keep your abs pulled in. You're just tapping this back toe lightly, and you're practicing your balance. So you're kind of trying to balance on that one leg. Good. Here, let's do that one more time, and then we're going to add on. So let's just call that the par level. Good. From here, we're going to add on, let's make that a birdie level. So then you balance, you hold, and then you lift that back leg, and you hold it for a beat. So you really need to concentrate on gripping the ground with your foot. You're trying to keep your knee and your hip stable, and then come back up. So you can see I was shaking there a little bit. So load, and then balance. Good. So if this is challenging, go back to just keeping that toe tapping, but this is a great way to practice your balance. Nice. So this is the birdie level, lifting that back foot, holding. From here, keep those abs pulled in and up, and then step down. If you want to advance it even more, let's call that the eagle level. We're going to balance, hold, and then you're going to swing and do your back swing. So you probably won't be able to swing that far, or you might have to work up to trying to get to a full swing. But this is a great balance exercise. I'm really feeling it in that supporting leg. And then come down. Great. So let's do that on the other side. So step, calculate, so you make sure that whole foot's on the bench, and then you're just extending that back leg behind you, and then stepping off. So this is a great exercise to develop strength in your legs, and if you're holding your abs in and up, it'll keep your core nice and tight. And then that's the par level. Let's do the birdie level. Hold it. You might feel one side differently than the other because sometimes we tend to have imbalances. So if that's the case, you have to practice. So this side seems to be not as good as the other one. Hold it, hold it, hold it. Good. And then one more time. Great exercise. And then that eagle level is adding a little bit of a swing. So on this side, let's see if we can do the back swing and the follow through. Hold it, back swing and the follow through. This is something to work up to. Back swing and the follow through. Nice. Great exercise for your balance, your strength. So I've just tied a resistance band to one of the handles of the slope to practice the swing and also get some upper body exercise. So what you're going to do is just kind of grab the loose end of the resistance band and get into an uphill stance. And so you can make this as hard as you want by taking up the slack, and then hold it as if you had a golf club in your hand. This is good for your grip strength as well. So from here, we're just going to practice that takeaway. So ideally in the takeaway, that triangle, the shoulders and hands form should go back, and nice one-piece takeaway as you swing back. Where people go wrong is they either whip this in too far or bend their arms and pick this up. So you want to have a nice wide takeaway. So if you had a club in your hand, the club head would go out just until outside your right foot, and then you would start to hinge and turn and finish your swing. So with this resistance band, I can really only do this takeaway. So the exercise is stretching your arms out, keeping your core tight, loading your weight into your right side. So you just move that triangle back. Feel what's taking it back. It's more with your core, not just with your arms. Good. So really stretch that back. Nice. And then you can step over the bench and do your downswing. So for the downswing, you're in a downhill lie, but when you follow through, you can actually push off and use the slope to get some power. So you can see I'm pushing off. Now again, I can only go through impact and a partial follow through with this. but I'm practicing trying to keep my arms nice and long through the shot. My forearms are rotating to square the club face. Where people would go wrong at impact is they would scoop up the ball like this with their hands, or they would kind of do this chicken wing through the shot because they're coming over the top, cutting across it. So learn how to keep those arms nice and long. Good. In my cardio golf classes, I call this position right here the money shot, because this is the picture that you usually see on the cover of magazines with the professional golfers. You'll never see a professional golfer on the cover of a magazine like looking up or with a chicken wing. You'll always see them with their arms nice and extended. They're using the ground to push off. They're still looking down at where the ball would be, and their arms are passing their body. And usually the grass is like flying up, or the ball is flying down the fairway. So practice this position right here, this impact, the money shot right here. Don't go through like this, nice and long. So you should feel this in your chest, your shoulders, your forearms, your hips. So practice the backswing, and then practice the impact. Mobility in your spine is so important for the golf swing, because your ability to be able to take your spine through different planes of motion is important in order to keep your posture. If your spine is stiff, you end up using other parts of the body to compensate. So let me show you a couple of exercises to help with that spinal mobility. So you're just going to sit on the Cardiogolf Slope at a little bit of an angle, and then press your heels, ankles, and knees together. Keep your abs pulled in. You're trying to keep your shoulders back and down. You don't want to slope like this. You want to try to pull your belly button in, and then you're just reaching the Shortee club out in front of you like this, and we're just going to practice doing a little spinal articulation. So you inhale, and then you tuck your chin into your chest, and then you just roll down a couple of inches, and then exhale, roll back up. So we're just doing a little spinal articulation. Inhale, tuck your chin, roll down a few inches, and then exhale, roll back up. So this seems like a little tiny subtle move, but if you have any issues in your spine, you'll feel this. So you're trying to really round your back and then straighten your back. Round your back, straighten your back. It's a great exercise to really help with that spinal mobility, especially through that lower back. Good. So we do a few repetitions. Good. We're going to add on from here. Sit up nice and tall, and then you want to try to keep your hips square, and then you're just leaning to the right. So you're trying to get a nice stretch in your oblique. Come back up to center, sit nice and tall, and then lean to the left. Good. So the breath would be inhale, tall, exhale, lean to the right, sit tall, inhale, and then exhale, lean to the left. So this is great side flexion. So side flexion is really important in golf because that determines your ability to rotate and use your spine. So we're practicing that side flexion. Good. From here, just rest your arms down. We'll add a little rotation. So stretch your arms out long. Keep your abs pulled in. Those knees and ankles are together, and then you want to inhale and exhale, twist to the right. Keep those hips square. Come back to center, and then twist to the left. So you want to get a nice twisting motion in your waist, working your obliques and your abdominal muscles right here. Good. So I like to use Pilates breath. So inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth as you twist. Good. Great exercise for your waist and for golf, helping that spinal mobility. This is my favorite way to use the Cardiogolf Slope as a post-round stretch. So what I'm doing here is I'm just sitting up against the slope like this, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to lean down, trying to stack my shoulders on top of each other, and I'm just going to use my arm as a pillow. And then you can see my bottom leg is bent, and then my top leg is straight, and also my hips are stacked right here. So this is a great stretch right here. I'm just going to take this top arm, inhale, and then exhale, I'm just going to stack it over my other arm right here. So you're just getting a really nice stretch all along that left side. And breathe. Good. So inhale, and then exhale as you stretch. Each time you want to try to reach your arm a little bit longer, keep your abs pulled in. So this is a great way. This is something that you can do after you play or practice. Nice. All right, from here, scoot a little forward with your chest towards the front of the bench because we're going to open up our back. And then you're in that same position. From here, you're just going to circle your arm and open up your back and then come forward. So as you do this, lean back, use the bench to lean back on, and you really should feel this in your hip flexor. So you can kind of roll open. Good. Inhale one direction. Do it slow and controlled. Exhale the other direction. Really nice. Good. From here, put one hand on one side of the slope, and then you're going to twist your chest to the floor and put your hand on the other side of the slope. And then you're just doing a nice little low cobra in a twisted position right here. So, if you have to go down a little further, you might have to work on putting this bottom arm to the side right here, but this is a great stretch for your back and for your core, and also that separation that we always talk about in golf. Great exercise. If you want to take it a little farther, and only if you can, you walk that front arm to the back, and then you're really twisting. You should really feel that in your core and your hip flexor in your back. Breathe. Inhale, exhale. Good. And then slowly walk your hand back. You can reach your arms long and stretch and hold it. For post-round stretches, I recommend holding the position for about 10 to 15 seconds. So make sure you do both sides. So that bottom leg is bent, that top one is long. You're just stacking your shoulders. You're using your shoulder as a pillow, and then you're inhaling, reaching your arm over. Exhaling, coming back up. Inhaling one direction, exhaling the other direction. Nice big stretch. You can hold it. Then go ahead and scoot your chest a little bit towards the front of the bench. Now you're circling your arm open, inhaling one direction, exhaling the other direction. It's a great way to finish after you play golf. Again, you can put the slope in front of your TV and watch golf while you do this. That's one of the things that I do. Nice. From here, you're going to put one hand on one side of the slope, then the other hand on the other side, and then you're just straightening your arms, kind of tractioning your own back. You can kind of work the kinks out. The breath is inhale, and when you exhale, you kind of stretch a little bit higher. You can really feel that in your hips and in your core. From here, if you can, take that front arm and you put it towards the back, and you're doing a little twisting. So if you've ever taken a Pilates class, these stretches are very similar to the ones when you do the side sit-up series, which is why I love this so much. Then you can just stretch your arms out, stretch, 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 and then push yourself back up. And that's a great way to stretch after a round of golf. So visit Cardiogolf.com for more information to get your own Shortee Practice Training Club and Slope.